Welcome to EPG Pathshala. Today our subject is Indian epigraphy and today we will discuss about the Kharosthi script. Now you have already learnt about the Indus script and the history of writing, and now Kharosthi is an important script together with Brahmi, which are very important scripts of India. The learning objectives are the discovery of the script and its decipherment, the geographical distribution of the script, the period of the script, the nature of the Kharosthi documents, the language, the origin of the Kharosthi scripts and the different theories regarding the origin of the Kharosthi script, the writing techniques and the general characteristics of the Kharosthi script. Now, first to begin with the discovery of the script, how Kharosthi script was discovered. The Kharosthi script was first seen on some coins of the foreign rulers, the Indo-Greeks. As you can see in this slide that here we have a coin of Eucratides, he was an Indo-Greek ruler. On the obverse side, which is the front side of the coin, the script is, the legend of the coin is written in Greek script, that is Basileos Megalou Eucratidou, and on the reverse side of, that is the opposite side of the coin, the script same legend is written in Prakrit language and in Kharosthi script, which is a translation of the Greek legend. So, these coins were first discovered and then people got to learn about the Kharosthi script in the first quarter of the 19th century. Later, the same script was also found on two inscriptions of the time of Kanishka, the Kushano ruler Kanishka, from Manikyala in Pakistan. Again, sometimes later, the same script was found on the rock edicts of Ashoka from Shahbazgarhi and Manshera. These two places are today situated in Pakistan. Now, you can see the Shahbazgarhi rock edict. These are a copy of the major rock edicts of Ashoka. Here we have a set of 14 rock edicts and this has been written in the Kharosthi script on the rock. This is from Shahbazgarhi. Now, the decipherment of the Kharosthi script, how the Kharosthi script was first read. It was James Prinsep, you know about James Prinsep, who deciphered the Ashokan Brahmi script in 1837. He also read some of the letters of the Kharosthi script for the first time. How he was able to read the script? He was able to read a number of letters on coins by comparing them. As I have already told you that by comparing the Kharosthi legend with the Greek legend and by understanding the translation, if it is in Greek, it is Basileos Megalou Eucratidou, the translation in northwestern Prakrit would be Maharajasa Mahatasa Eucratidasa. So, by comparing the Greek letters with the Kharosthi letters, you can read the letters. So, this was the way by which James Prinsep was able to read a number of letters on coins by comparing them to the Greek letters occurring on the other side of coins. Then he could recognize only 11 to 12 letters. The rest were later deciphered by C. Lassen, A. Cunningham and E. Norris by the middle of the 19th century. And how did they know that the name of the script was Kharosthi? That Kharosthi is the name of this specific type of script was first suggested by the scholar Terence the Lacoupeer in 1886 to 1887 on the basis of the Lalita Vistara. Now, Lalita Vistara is a text in Buddhist hybrid Sanskrit and it belongs to the 3rd century AD. And again the name of the Kharosthi script occurs in the Chinese encyclopedia Fa Yuan Chu Lin in the 7th century. Now, specifically in this Lalita Vistara, we have a list of 64 scripts and the Brahmi and the Kharosthi are the number 1 and number 2 in this list. So, these are most probably the most important scripts of early India, that is why they have been mentioned in number 1 and number 2. Now, you can see a geographical distribution of the Kharosthi script where the Kharosthi documents were found. First, we begin with the northwestern part of India. The kingdom is known as Gandhara. That is why the language for which the Kharosthi script was used was called the Gandhari Prakrit. It is also known as the northwestern Prakrit. So, Gandhara or the northwest including Pakistan and the northern part of Afghanistan, is the core territory for the use of the Kharosthi script. Further north, the script is also found in Swat Valley, in the Kabul river valleys, and also in Kyrgyzstan. Next we move on to Central Asia, where we have Kharosthi scripts, but there is a basic difference between the Central Asian Kharosthi and the Northwestern Kharosthi. In Central Asia, Kharosthi is not found on inscriptions. They were written on birch bark manuscripts, and they were basically manuscripts from religious texts like the Buddhist Dhammapada, or they were used to write some administrative documents of the kingdoms, the rulers who used to rule there. So, these are the two areas, the Central Asia and the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent, where the Kharosthi script were used. Again, we have also found the records containing Kharosthi script in the west coast of India. There the Kshatrapa and the Kardamaka family of the Kshatrapa and the Kshaharata family of the Kshatrapas also used Kharosthi script together with the Greek script and also the Brahmi script. Further to the east, we find Kharosthi script in some places in Bihar, but this has been regarded as imports from the northwest, since this Bihar is not at all a Kharosthi using territory. Also in the south, in one of the Ashokan edicts from Karnataka, we have a single word in Kharosthi script engraved by the engraver of that inscription. But in this area in South India and in Bihar and further to the east, Kharosthi has been regarded as imports, that is, it has been used by people who came from the northwest. So, as you understand that Kharosthi is basically a script of the northwest. Now, the principal area of the use of the inscriptions. The use of inscriptions in Kharosthi we have found in the territory along and around the Indus, the Swat and the Kabul river valleys, that is in the Gandhara kingdom. The later discoveries were made in the area to the north of the Hindu Kush, in Bactria and in Uzbekistan and in Tajikistan. Graffiti in Kharosthi is found in Chilas and other places in the upper Indus. In the south and the southwest, the distribution is up to the Baluchistan, and in the southeast, Kangra around Delhi and Mathura. These are the principal areas in which Kharosthi inscriptions have been. Now, the coins in Kharosthi script have been issued by the Indo-Greek and Scythian rulers, then the western Kshatrapas, about whom we have already discussed. In Central Asia, as I have already discussed, that Kharosthi has been used by the rulers to write the manuscripts and not the inscriptions. Now, the period of the Kharosthi script. The period of the Kharosthi script is very short. The earliest date in which we find Kharosthi script is 3rd century BC in the Manshera and Shahbazgarhi edicts of Ashoka. So, it is Ashoka who first used the Kharosthi script in his edicts. So, Kharosthi most probably originated not in the 3rd century BC, but probably sometimes earlier during the Achaemenian era. The Achaemenian are actually the Persians who ruled in Iran, and probably in the 4th to 5th century BCE the script was discovered by them when they came to rule in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent. I will discuss this point in a later slide. Between the 1st century BC and the 2nd century CE, the Kharosthi script flourished under the Indo-Greeks, the Indo-Scythian, the Indo-Parthian and the Kushano kings. So, you can see the Kharosthi script was basically used by the foreign rulers and never by the Indian rulers. Now, when the Kushano kings declined, the Kharosthi fell out of use with the decline of the Kushanas in the 3rd century CE. So, this is the period of the Kharosthi script. Now, the nature of the Kharosthi documents. The Kharosthi script is found in almost hundreds of inscriptions in stone and metal. Fresh inscriptions are also being discovered now. Majority of the Kharosthi inscriptions, the subject matter is the donation by the Buddhists, or they record the foundation of structures like monasteries or donation of a cistern, etc. The coin legends of foreign and indigenous rulers also contain Kharosthi scripts, normally with other scripts like Brahmi, like Greek, etc. In Central Asia, the Kharosthi occurs, already we have discussed that in the administrative documents, in the manuscript of Buddhist Dharmapadas and in the Chinese Buddhist texts. Now, the language, which is very important, for which language people needed to use the Kharosthi script. The Kharosthi script was used to write the northwestern Prakrit language, which was also known as the Gandhari Prakrit. Now, this is a very special dialect of the Prakrit language in which we have hard sounds. We have the prevalence of hard sounds. As for example, if we say Nagara in Sanskrit or in Prakrit or Nagala in Prakrit, this will become Nagrara in Gandhari Prakrit. And again, if we want to say Bhagavata in Sanskrit or in Prakrit, this will come Bhagravata in Gandhari or northwestern Prakrit. So, we have prevalence of a large number of hard sounds in northwestern Prakrit. This Prakrit is a Middle Indo-Aryan dialect, and Gandhari is a distinctly separate language from the other members of the Middle Indo-Aryan family. That is why a separate script was required to write this language. Now, the origin of the Kharosthi scripts, there are different theories. Several scholars have put forward their theories regarding the origin of the Kharosthi script, and the subject is much debated. First, Sylvia Levy in 1902, he put forward this theory that Kharosthi is a geographical term and it originated from Kharostra, from Chinese Kialu Shu Tale, which is a toponym from Kashgar. Now, all of us know that Kashgar is an area in Central Asia. Next is R. Pichel, who suggested that actually Kharosthi originated from the name of a sage, which is Kialu Sheto, meaning asleep, corresponding to the Indic original was Kharoshtha. Again, Sylvia Levy modified his view later in 1904, and he suggested that the spelling Kharosthi is correct, and he connected it with the land intermediate between India and China, where donkeys and camels were common. Again, Ludwig suggested that the Kharosthi name Kharosthi has been derived from the Aramaic word harutto, which means engrave, to engrave. Again, Jean Przulowski connected the name with the term Kharaposta. Now, Kharaposta is the name of a yaksha from the northwestern part of the India, and this name occurs in the text Mahamayuri. Khara means the donkey and posta is an Iranian word which means hide of the donkey. Some Central Asian Kharosthi documents were written on the hides of donkeys. So, that could be the reason why the term Kharosthi has been used for the script. Again, H. Hambach suggested that the name Kharosthi was derived from the name of King Kharausta, which occurs in the Mathura lion capital inscription, which is again in the Kharosthi script. It is a Kushana period inscription. Harry Falk, who is a modern scholar, he accepted the suggestion of Hambach. Again, H. W. Bailey, he suggested several Iranian etymologies, and among which the most acceptable is royal writing. So, according to him, Kharosthi means royal writing. Now, Richard Salomon, an eminent epigraphist of our period, he has suggested that Kharosthi is basically a Sanskritization of an original Iranian name whose etymology is uncertain. Connection with Khara is folk etymology. The original term could have been connected with old Iranian term meaning sovereignty, but the process by which it came to be connected with the script is unclear. Now, B.N. Mukherjee, Professor B.N. Mukherjee, who is an authority about the Kharosthi script, he has put forward a slightly different theory. He has suggested that Kharosthi around 500 BC, the Achaemenids, that is the Persians, they conquered the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent, which included the Pakistan. Their official script was Aramaic, while the subjects in the Indian provinces used the Brahmi script to write their language Gandhari or northwestern Prakrit. Now, the Aramaic knowing administrators wanted to write Gandhari in a script that was based on Aramaic and would also be understood very easily with a little effort by their new subjects. Thus, Kharosthi was created as a result of the intercourse between the offices of the satraps and of the native authorities. Now, this is the explanation of Professor B.N. Mukherjee regarding the origin of the Kharosthi script. He has stressed the Aramaic sources of the Kharosthi letters, as you can see in number 1 A in Kharosthi, the signs for Kharosthi A, that has been derived according to him from the Aramaic letter Aleph, and at the right column you can see the form of the letter Aramaic letter Aleph as it occurs in the Lamghan Edict of Ashoka and also the Aramaic documents of 515 to 4 BC. And there are several examples given by Professor B.N. Mukherjee. As for example, you can see number 4 Ga, that is Ga in Kharosthi has been derived from the Aramaic letter Gimel, which occurs in the form you can see in the right column in the Lamghan Rock Edict 2, and this is the form of Gimel. So, he has discussed with several examples about the derivation of the Kharosthi script from the Aramaic letters. Now, the relation between the Aramaic and the Kharosthi letters. There is a specific relation lying between the characters of the two scripts. As for example, in Kharosthi, Ba has been derived from the Aramaic letter Bet. Na in Kharosthi has been derived from the Aramaic letter Nan, etc. There are some slight alteration. In some cases we find slight alterations in the use of the script, like Kharosthi La from Lamed, it shows the inversion of the letter. Next, cursivization and stroke reduction in Kharosthi Ga, which is derived from Aramaic Gimel. There is a case of the addition of extra stroke in Aramaic Kaf to form the Kharosthi letter Ka, etc. So, in some cases they could keep the original form of the Aramaic letters, and in some cases they have made slight modifications. Now, there are also some connections between the Kharosthi and the Brahmi script. As you can see, there is much similarity between Brahmi Da and Kharosthi Da. Also in Brahmi Bha, in look at number 3, the Kharosthi Ma has been derived from Brahmi Ma. Only difference is in Brahmi Ma there is a loop at the end of the letter. Now, the writing technique of Kharosthi. Now, Kharosthi is a pen style of writing in which one type of pen remained in use. In Ashokan inscriptions, it leaves behind the footmark in the form of an upward slant at the lower end of the verticals on the left. This footmark is to be attributed to the style of the writer and not the engraver. In Kushana inscriptions, the verticals gradually thin out into curves as is natural to a pen. The medial U assumes the form of a loop. So, this is the writing technique of the Kharosthi inscriptions. In stones, now stone is a hard surface. So, in stone engravings, the loops which are round, this becomes a triangle. And in coins and medals, we find many superfluous lines or dots which in the form of Ma, Ha, Ja, and also in Ga, Da, Na. Now, what are the meanings of these superfluous lines? Percy Gardner thought that these lines stand from the Lenden vowels. So, he read Maharaja for Maharaja and Menadrasa for Menadrasa. The paleographic features of the Kharosthi script. Kharosthi script is not an extensive script due to the limited geographical distribution and also due to the limited period of its survival. It does not have clear local variants as we have in the case of Brahmi script. We have several variants as in the Girna Rock Edict of Brahmi, in the Brahmi script we have a different dialect. In the Brahmi scripts from the south we have a different dialect, but we do not have this regional variation in the Kharosthi script. Only the Central Asian variety is different. Central Asian Kharosthi is more cursive as it was written with pen and ink, and the writing surface was also different as we have already discussed that these were written on birch bark manuscripts and not on stones. Kharosthi has got a cursive ductus. It is a top oriented script, which means that all the changes, all the major changes and development of the script happens in the top of the script, and so this has been regarded as a Clark's script. Now, dental sa, which is a very important letter of the Kharosthi, and it shows the maximum development of the Kharosthi script, and the dental sa is also very easy to identify and you can also easily identify the period by identifying the form of dental saw. If it is open mouthed, fully open mouthed, it would belong to a later period, it could belong to the Kushana period, and if it is the fully closed mouth, it occurs in the Ashokan inscription. So, closed mouth dental saw is the earliest, and then it gradually opens its mouth, and in the final development you will find a fully open mouth dental saw. But the three types of dental saw occasionally overlap, as pointed out by C.C. Dasgupta. You can see this is a coin of Apollodotus. The obverse legend is in Greek and the reverse legend is a translation in the Kharosthi script. It has been read from right to left. Maharayasa Tratarasa Apala Datasa. So, Maharayasa for Maharaja, Tratarasa for Soteras is the Greek word which is written in the obverse, and Apala Datasa is the Prakrit translation of the Greek word Apollodotus. The name of the king is Apollodotus. The Indo-Greek inscriptions, the development of the Kharosthi script in the Indo-Greek inscriptions dated between the 2nd to the 1st century BCE. The forms are similar to the coins, but additional strokes below the verticals are absent. You can identify slight angularity in the form of A and Ka. New letters like Ga, Dha occur, and the form of mu show important changes and becomes the standard form. This is an Indo-Greek inscription, the Bajaur Casket of Menander. You can see at the second line which is marked as A, Mi Nadrasa Maharajasa Kati Asa. Then you can see some letters forming the cross marks which indicates the letter numeral 4, and the lines indicate the numeral 1. So, you always add the numerals to learn the figure. There are 3 cross marks there. So, there are 3 4s. So, 4 plus 4 plus 4, it comes to 12, and then plus 1 plus 1. So, it comes to 14. So, the year is 14. This is again another inscription which belongs to a slightly later period. The Takht-i-Bahi is again in Pakistan. Takht-i-Bahi inscription of Gondophares, who is an Indo-Parthian ruler. The first line is Maharayasa. You can easily identify the dental saw which is slightly open mouthed but not fully open mouthed. So, it belongs to most probably the 1st century BC, not as early as Ashoka, which the inscriptions of Ashoka has closed mouth dental saw, but here the dental saw is slightly open mouth. So, it belongs to 2nd to 1st century BC. Then Gudu Varasa Vasha, then see the last 4 numerals. The first is a letter for 20, then you have the cross mark, so that is 4, then we have 2 ones. So, 20 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1, so it comes to year 26. So, the inscription is dated in year 26. This is Wardak Vase inscription. This place Wardak is again in the northwest. This is a Kushana period inscription. You can see, just trace the letter dental saw and see the development of dental saw into a fully open mouthed form. So, this is the characteristic of dental saw in the Kushana period. This is the other side of the Wardak vase inscription. It has been engraved on a vase which probably contained the relic of the Buddha or one of his disciples. This is again a Kushana period inscription. It is a pedestal of an inscription showing the Bodhisattva, and the Kharosthi script is written below the inscription. You can identify some letters, and you can also see the fully open mouthed form of dental saw, and at the end of the inscription you can also trace the numeral 4 and 1. So, it is 4 plus 1, so it is 5. So, here is a list of references for the study of the Kharosthi scripts. Stein Konu, who is the earliest scholar who compiled all the Kharosthi inscriptions together in the volume of Corpus Inscriptionum Indicarum, and there are several other scholars like C.C. Dasgupta, A.H. Dani, B.N. Mukherjee, who has done researches on the Kharosthi script, and the latest is Richard Salomon, whose section on Kharosthi script in his book Indian Epigraphy is very important. There is again some discoveries in Central Asia by Sir Orelstein in Chinese Turkestan. as we have already discussed that the Central Asian Kharosthi is a different variety. So, about those inscriptions you will find in the book of Sir Orelstein, and these were transcribed and edited by A. M. Boyer, Rapson and E. Sennert. Now, to summarize, now as we have already discussed that Kharosthi is one of the most important scripts of early India. It was first used by Ashoka in the 3rd century BC, but most probably it originated much earlier, most probably in the 5th to 6th century BC, and it was in use up to 3rd century AD, and it was mostly used by the foreign rulers, and with the decline of the Kushanas, the Kharosthi script fell out of use. So, these are the basic characteristics and the general features of the Kharosthi script. Thank you.